Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the first off-season video on my channel from me. It's gonna be one of few, and there's a video out on Monday explaining all of that and what's gonna happen during the next sort of 5, 6, 7 weeks. But I'm pretty sure a lot of you will know about that already because I've spoken about it pretty extensively ever since the start of the season, really. But today, that is not the focus. The first bit of news is that under-23s manager Andy Dawson has been promoted to the role of first-team coach. Tony Pennock, the previous first-team coach, left after the Nottingham Forest game. That was his last game. I said my goodbyes to him. He gave me, just embraced and stuff like that. Cool guy is Tony, very cool guy. I wish him all the best. All the best for whatever he goes on to do. But that left a vacant spot. A lot of people were thinking, would Shotter bring his own man in? I think it's a mixture of a high-profile name for the club, this appointment, and the fact Shotter would have wanted him. So when Shotter Avaladze first came in and Peter van der Veen hadn't yet been appointed his assistant manager, helping him out was Andy Dawson. But when Peter came in and his work permit was approved, Andy then took a step back and just focused on the 23s again. But now he has got the role of first team coach full time, so he will run a lot of the warm up. He will help run all the training sessions, do a lot of the stuff, all behind the scenes as well, helping out Peter van der Veen and Shotter Avaladze. That's obviously not in the thumbnail because that was confirmed today after I've already made said thumbnail. So, I can't be bothered to bodge job it in. But what the main title and thumbnail of all this is about is that 4 second-year scholars from our academy, from our under-18s, have signed their first professional contracts with Hull City. Contract length, I assume, will be just a 1 year. It always tends to be that way at this stage of development. And yeah, we'll just have to see what happens. But who are the players then? Firstly, I'd like to say thank you to Kai Connell. His Twitter links are down in the description. He sent me pictures of 3 of these guys to use in the thumbnails. I'll tell you who they were in a second. Because he photographed one of the under-23s games in which 3 of the 4 played. And it was, in fact, one of the ones that I attended. The one that I've attended this season. I'm going to do a lot more under-23s games next season, by the way. So you can look forward to those as well if I decide to make content about them, which I might do because I'll have a lot more free time next season. Anyway, who are these players then? So we have Tom Mccauley, Alfie Taylor, Sincere Hall, and Harry Wallace. The 3 which Kai provided me pictures for are Alfie Taylor, Sincere Hall, and Harry Wallace. Tom Mccauley, we'll touch on him a little bit now. So Tom Mccauley was born in June 2004 in Crewe. He's a goalkeeper. He joined us at under 11s. And this season he's been out on loan at Hall Road for 4 months on work experience where he impressed. He's also played a large proportion of the under-23s game, not under-23s, under-18s games. And yeah, he's a very, very, very good young goalkeeper, 18 years of age. Tom Mccauley, the picture in the thumbnail is from the Barnsley game, the first £2 ticket offer in February, where, of course, Matt Ingram was out with concussion. Nathan Baxter was struck down with injury as well at that time. So that left us with no proper senior goalkeepers fit. So Cartwright came in as our always third choice. David Robson was on the bench, and you'd typically expect for Harry Fisk to come in as third choice goalkeeper. However, that did not happen because he was out on loan at Tadcaster Albion. So instead, Shotter allowed Thomas Mccauley to be part of the matchday squad for the very first time. Second one then, we're moving forward from in goal to centre-back now. Alfie Taylor, born in February 2004, joined City at under 9s level, born in the East Riding, so he's a local boy. He hasn't been loaned out yet, but he's played consistently at under 18s and at under 23s games this year. Alfie, quite tall, I say quite tall, very tall, and yeah, really, really solid centre-back. In the game I watched him, he was at centre-back alongside, I think it was Festus Arter against Cardiff. And the pair of them were solid. Taylor really impressed me. He was calm on the ball when he had it. Him and Festus Arter controlled that back line very well. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see if he, Mccauley and any of these next two can break through into the first team fully over the next few years. Sincere Hall is the third of the four, born in June 2004. He's a winger, can play on either side. When I watched him, he played on the left, I think it was. And then there was a trialist on the right. He signed for us last summer at under 18s level in August 2021, as I say. And this season he's represented Bermuda at under 20 level, winning all three of his games, I do believe, that he featured in. And he was born in the United States of America, born in the USA. It's a nice song from the 80s, that. Some of you will get that, some of you won't. Anyway, the final one is Harry Wallace. Harry, he is one of my mate's cousins. Born in September 2003. I believe he's a left midfielder or central mid. He signed for us at under 11s, at under 11 level. And he's gradually made his way up over the years. From that point, he was captain of the under-18s team this season, played consistently for them, and featured more and more for the under-23s towards the back end of the season. The game I watched him, he came on quite late on against Cardiff's under-23s. But when he got on the ball, he looked calm with it. He could certainly play a decent pass. So I'm looking forward to seeing what these guys can do. So they will be added to the list of players with already professional contracts here. At the end of the season, though, out of contract, for certain, having checked all the records and stuff like that, Matty Jacob, Ahmed Salam, Billy Chadwick, Jake Leake, Tom Nixon, Josh Hines, Ollie Green, Louis Beckett, Harry Fisk and Harry Lovick. All of those come through City's academy. Tom Nixon, actually, we signed last summer, a couple of months before, well, about a month or so before we got Sincere Hall in. He signed a professional contract, went straight into the under-23s. All the rest, Hull lads, Matty Jacob won the league with Gateshead. Lower down the leagues out on loan this season, Ahmed Salam won it out with Linfield over in Northern Ireland. Billy Chadwick would have won it with Linfield as well had he not done his ACL, so he's been back here for the last half of the season. Jake Leake captained the under-23s when I watched them. Can play all across the back line, very, very solid player. Tommy Nixon, as I said, we brought him in from Stoke last summer. Again, solid right back. Josh Hines, very, very good young striker. Ollie Green, Louis Beckett, Harry Lovick, good in centre mid. Harry Fisk, a good young goalie as well. The other two, who I think will be out of contract, but not sure because the club didn't confirm the dates when they signed their first pro deals, are Macaulay Snellgrove and Will Jarvis. I think both of them will stick around. To be fair, I think a lot of these will stick around. I think Ahmed will stick around, Billy, Will, I think Jake, Macca, Will, Tom. I think Ollie might stick around, Josh. I think all of them could stick around. To be fair, I'd like all of them to stick around. I know what one of them is doing. I won't tell you who that is or what they're doing, but that will all be revealed in due course. So yeah, 4 academy players getting pro deals, and then Andy Dawson going from the under-23s manager to the first team coach role as well. For anyone wondering, the reason that is not Nick Barmby, I know a lot of fans have been crying to get Nick Barmby a coaching role. He's been out of the game for God knows how many years. After he left us, he's managed one team, Barton Town. He's managed Barton Town Old Boys ever since he left us back in, I think, about 2011, 2012 time. So his managerial CV, his coaching CV, isn't really good enough to be coaching consistently, to be coaching a team wanting to push up the Championship and into the Premier League. Andy Dawson, since he left us, coaching Scunthorpe's academy, to Scunthorpe's main team, to caretaker manager, to assistant manager at Scunthorpe, then came back here, our under-23s and our under-18s for a little bit as well. Coached in the first team when Shotter first came in. Grant was heavily involved in helping him with the 23s when before he was replaced by Shotter as well. So Andy is much more qualified for the role than Nick Barmby is. And what I would love to see is if we're looking for a direct replacement for Andy Dawson with the 23s to still help Richard Naylor out. I know Naylor's probably capable of doing it all on his own, because there's a reason these under-23s teams are very good, because the coaches are excellent. But if there's one ex-player I'd like to do it, David Myler. He's just set up his own footballing academy in Hull. He's looking to expand that over to Ireland. He's doing his coaching badges. He's working with the Republic of Ireland. I think it's under 17s and under 18s. Why not get him in? Why not get him in? He's been at games since the takeovers happened. Why not get him in? And I know Bentos made that point on Twitter as well. I fully agree with him, because he's my absolute most favourite footballer to ever have worn black and amber. But that's that. So as I say, there'll be a video out on Monday morning explaining what's going to go on in the off season, because obviously there's a bit of stuff going on for me personally at the minute, which I know you all probably know, and I'll talk more of in that video as well. But yeah, so 4 new professional players and a new first team coach as well, replacing Tony Pennick. See you later, everyone. Take care. Goodbye.